Hello everyone, welcome back to Agri Farming. Today we are back with organic container gardening. Container gardening is a great way to grow your own food in a small space, so it is perfect for apartments and gardens as well as urban homes without a huge yard. Organic container gardening is an environmentally safe way to grow fruits, vegetables, and other plants. Container gardening allows you to be creative and personal in decorating your environment. A well-planned container garden can be attractive as well as useful vegetable, fruits, and herbs. Organic container gardening is the practice of growing plants organically in containers instead of planting them in the ground. Organic container gardening includes planting edible as well as non-edible plants. Containers will offer you the joy of growing several plants in an area where traditional gardening is impossible. Even with limited space, you can grow plants anywhere, that is on a window sill, a doorstep, a balcony, a stair, and a patio, even a rooftop, in hanging baskets or in old buckets. They all can give enough space for an attractive and even productive, for example, for vegetables display. You can grow different plant species in one single container in ecological relationships. Organic container gardening makes observation easy, and whenever necessary, containers can easily be moved around. Choosing a good container. Look for pots that work with the kinds of plants you want to grow. Clay pots are very popular because they are natural material and harmonize with most decors and foliage, while plastic pots are inexpensive and come in a range of colors. The size of the containers you use will be mainly depending on the kind of plants you want to grow. If you want plants to grow healthy and provide an abundance of fruit, then you have to make sure the container you plant them is in a large enough. So, the different kinds of pots we generally use for gardening are unglazed terracotta or ceramics are very porous, so they let lots of air in the roots and allow them to stay cool, but also require frequent watering and can't take much frost or they can break or least harm plant roots. Glazed terracotta or ceramics are similar, but hold more water and less air. So you may need a lighter soil mix such as one with perlite. Some of them can take frost, while if they have soil in them, they can still crack. The third is plastic containers can get very hot, particularly dark ones. They don't allow airflow and they stay very wet. So, you require a porous mix that allows for airflow and drainage. Some of them are made with toxic chemicals, and metal containers behave similarly to plastic. The plastic container is going to be the cheapest option and it is the lightest to move around. My only issue with plastic containers is that they are viewed as disposable, so if you choose to purchase them for garden, make sure you use them year after year. Wooden containers, particularly raised bed containers, are beautiful in gardens. These containers protecting plants from extreme temperatures. In summer, wooden planters warm up less than other container types, so the roots are protected from heat. In winter, wooden box protect all plants. However, you still require insulating to keep container plants warm. Drilling holes for drainage in the wood container is necessary compared to pottery for iron. Generally, cement planters are expensive but incredibly durable. They are heavy though, especially once dirt has been added up into them. So, these are better to select for more permanent containers that you don't plan to move around. Select the right soil for organic container gardening. For container gardening, soilless mixtures are inexpensive, lightweight, and free from disease and contaminate. They help the plants retain water and also make little air pockets that help the roots breathe. You must also mix in about 1/3 to half compost to feed your plants slowly from the roots. The simplest approach to mix equal parts of garden soil and good quality compost. If the soil texture stays too wet, add a coarse material such as sand or perlite to your recipe. If it dries too out quickly, use more compost or peat moss the next time. This sort of mix tends to be heavy, which can be a problem if you want your containers to be easy to move. For a lighter soil-less mix, begin with equal parts compost or peat moss and perlite. Carefully choose or make the organic potting soil for container gardening. Potting soil allows for good drainage while allowing air into the soil. Choose soil with no added nutrients or fertilizer. This allows you to customize soil mixtures for each plant's specific needs with specific plant foods that meets your garden requirements. Pick the perfect plants for container gardening. Selecting plants native to your region or bred specially for your climate helps create a healthy, low-maintenance organic garden, which is very important if you are new to organic gardening. All of the Bonnie Organics varieties you will find at your local garden shop or home improvement store have been chosen because they grow well in your area. Lettuce and herbs do well in shallow containers with large surface areas. Select containers that allow about 4 inches of soil. If you plant 2 pots, you can snip what you need off one container and then harvest the second while the first recovers and keep the soil moist. Some people use deep buckets filled with mix of potting soil and compost. Like lettuce, which wants continuously moist soils, let tomato containers dry between watering. Apply organic fertilizer for container gardening. Your potting soil isn't going to cut it when it comes to feeding your plants. You want fertilizer to make sure that all season long they are fed and are able to grow healthy. While there are plenty of conventional fertilizers, that one of the best parts of growing your own food is the control you have over what chemicals your food is exposed to. There are several types of fertilizers, but typically it is good to use slow-release fertilizer and mix it accordingly to the fertilizer package directions into your potting soil. Even every 2 weeks, add liquid fertilizer to help keep your plants fed and growing strong all season long. Give your plants the right conditions to grow. Plants require the right amount of sunlight and water. Be careful when putting plants on balcony boxes because the wind may dry them out more quickly. On the other hand, most people make the mistake of overwatering plants. When filling a container, leave at least 5 cm space between the top of the garden soil and top of the container for adding some mulch. Make it 10 cm for plants that require a lot of watering. When watering the container, the growing medium or substrate will settle. Proper watering and drainage. Container gardens need to be watered frequently, particularly during the hot summer months. Because they are above ground, the containers can have a hard time holding moisture, and it is very important to make sure that soil remains damp. Too much water can be just as bad for your plants as not enough, so always verify the soil before watering. Stick your finger 1 inch down into the soil. If the soil feels moist, leave it alone. But if soil dry, it's time to water. Be sure to water the soil surrounding the base of the plants so the root absorbs the moisture, and not only is watering the leaves wasteful, but it can also create an environment that invites disease. A drip irrigation system, a highly targeted watering method, is a good choice for organic gardens. Maintain with mulch. A thick layer of organic mulch not only helps control weeds by blocking the sun they require to grow, but also helps retain moisture in the soil, so you may need to water less. Mulch also creates the look of a tidy, pretty garden. While pine straw and wheat straw are popular mulch choices, untreated grass clippings, chopped leaves, and even aged wood shavings are also good choices. Buy organic seeds from a trustworthy provider or from garden store to obtain organic seedlings or starts. When planting seeds, make sure the soil is fully damp and then follow the same direction on each seed packet. For gardening starters, gently remove the plant from its container. Keep as much for the soil as possible. Dig a hole in the container and gently place the start so its roots are completely covered but its leaves are exposed, and do not leave too much on the stem exposed. Keep organic seeds and starts moist and do not let the soil dry out until they are healthy and have more than 2 leaves. Disease and insects for organic container gardening. Plants grown in containers can be attacked by several types of insects and infected with disease that are common to any other type of garden. Plants must be periodically inspected for the presence of foliage and fruit-feeding insects as well as for occurrence of diseases. Containers can be arranged in the garden so that plants can attract and repel insects or flies. Some container plants emit special chemicals from their root or leaves which repel pests. The weather, weeds, pests, insects, and diseases can be all impact on the success of your container gardening plants. Keep your organic garden weed-free. Be vigilant to stop an unwanted insects and disease from ruining your plants, and companion planting is a great natural way to deter plants. There are several organic pest control methods available, including chemicals, minerals, and strategic gardening techniques. Some of them are neem oil. Neem oil is extracted from a common Asian tree and exhibits the growth cycle of insects. Care for organic gardening container. Care for organic container garden as you would a normal garden bed. If your plants seem crowded, thin them. Pull several weeds that pop up. Water only when the soil is dry to a depth of 1 inch, and then water deeply. Your bucket must not get soggy. If it does, make larger drainage holes. If you see fungus or mold, stop watering and consider replanting veggies. Make sure plants get enough light but not too much. Maintain container garden to have organic food throughout the growing season. That's all folks for today. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe to this channel, and please ring the bell button to notify you whenever new video is uploaded. Thank you for watching.